Hello and welcome to Binary News, your daily dose of focused gaming news, and myself, Amata. Today is the 23rd of June, and this time I'm bringing you some news regarding Crytek, as the Crysis developer has moved to deny claims that they are on the verge of bankruptcy. Now, these rumours actually come from a recent report from a German magazine by the name of GameStar, which claimed Crytek, which of course has its headquarters in Frankfurt, was in financial trouble, and even went so far as to say that the development of the X1 exclusive Rise Son of Rome was a disaster. Now, the report, which was of course was in German, was helpfully translated by Eurogamer, so thank you to them. And they gave the following translation. Quote, "The vultures are circling already. Companies like this have already started making offers to the most talented people at Crytek to hire them away. Such a brain drain can become dangerous for any studio, even a financially stable one. A takeover of Crytek would be interesting for a company that could use the development experience of the Crytek and doesn't want to build up such experience itself. That is why the Belarus F2P free-to-play-giant Wargaming is rumoured to be a potential buyer. When you are reading this, there is hope that Crytek has managed to avoid disaster. A new source of money is in sight, and that is according to Avni Yerli, one of the managing directors, and their quote continues, quote, "When we called him in early June, the contract had not been signed, but it will be in a short while. Not all is good. Our transition to become a free-to-play studio had been painful, but now that is behind us." And of course, as I said, Crytek have dismissed it. But before I get into what Crytek have had to say, I want to discuss something a little bit, and that's the observation that the Rise Son of Rome development and release was a disaster. So I got a little bit curious, and I thought, well, I wonder how much it actually sold. And well, the answer is on Xbox One at retail, it sold less than 1 million units. Now, that's not to say that's the total number of games sold. The important thing to remember is a lot of these sales tracking sites, and this is from VG Charts, by the way, in case you're wondering, they don't include the digital download sales. They only include the boxed copies. And also with Rise Son of Rome, it could have possibly been included in a bundle with the Xbox One, and that probably wouldn't have been included either. So this is not like literally this is all the games sold, but this is what is sold at retail. So it still gives you a rough idea of how much this game sold, even if you add another million in digital sales and box copies that came with the console or whatever. That still is not exactly amazing considering how much this game undoubtedly cost to make. And there are even rumours of Crytek mismanaging the development and actually getting to the point where they had their team working around pretty much around the clock, even to the point where they were having dinner at the studio because they were being forced to basically work so many hours to actually get the game finished on time. Now, as I said, that is a rumour and an unsubstantiated report. I've eventually got the word out, guys. But it does give you not exactly a pretty picture of, the sales and the development of Rise Son of Rome. In all fairness, though, if you look at, say, Dead Rising 3, which of course was an Xbox One exclusive, that didn't exactly sell amazingly well either, 1.4 million. Now, again, that is only retail, but it still gives you a rough idea. Again, no digital, no box copies or anything like that, but still, not a pretty picture we're painting here. But let us move on from that for a moment and go to Crytek's denial of this rumour, saying, quote, "Regardless of what some media are reporting, mostly based on a recent article published by GameStar, the information in those reports and in the GameStar article info itself, are rumours which Crytek deny. We continue to focus on the development and publishing of our upcoming titles, Homefront: The Revolution, Hunt: Horrors of the Gilded Age, Arena of Fate, and Warface, as well as providing ongoing support for our CryEngine and its licensees. We have received a lot of positive feedback during and after E3 from both gaming press and gamers, and would like to thank our loyal employees and business partners for their continuous support." Despite this statement, though, I am a little bit worried, as there's even rumours that the Sofia office in Bulgaria for Crytek hadn't received salaries for the past 2 months, and there's even more reports coming out of Crytek UK, which is rumoured to have failed to pay employees on time. and management have been accused by some staff of a lack of transparency over these issues, and many of the employees are unhappy, as you would understandably be if your employer wouldn't pay you or would not pay you on time, or perhaps didn't pay you enough for the amount of hours that you did. And as I said, no matter what Crytek says, even if we add another 1 million onto the 0.91 million figure that I've got here for retail sales, that's still only 2 million units sold for a game that undoubtedly costs millions of dollars. So, not exactly amazing, to be honest with you. I think there is some nugget of truth at the core of this rumour, even if it's perhaps being blown a little bit out of proportion. I think that Crytek are definitely in rough seas. I don't know if I would go so far as to agree that they're probably on the verge of bankruptcy, but all of these rumours about the mismanagement of developments, the not paying employees at all or on time, and obviously, of course, the lackluster sales of Rise, Son of Rome, it doesn't exactly paint a picture of a company who are going from strength to strength. Now, obviously, I think what is going to decide their future is how well the upcoming titles do. As I said, they've got a few things in the works at the moment, and if they do better, then they might be able to pull themselves out of it. But Rise, Son of Rome was obviously a technical showpiece for the Xbox One. Very pretty game, kind of slammed by critics for its gameplay, but very pretty. Definitely made good use of the CryEngine, but Crytek may be paying for the money they obviously spent to make their game as pretty as it was. So, as I know, guys, this seems like a bit of a mess, to be honest with you. I think all we can really do is wait and see what happens. I don't want Crytek to go anywhere. They are a pretty good company, and while they have made a couple of dud games, usually their titles are pretty strong, especially Crysis. So I don't want to see them go under or anything like that, but I think we just kind of have to wait and see what happens. Anyway, guys, do let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.